Today I'm going to show you the 4 different ways that you can play any song that you want on the piano, even if you're a beginner and brand new to the piano. And I know these work because this is exactly how I can play any song that I want on the piano with minimal practice time. The first way that you can learn how to play any song that you want on the piano is through learning how to quickly and easily read and play sheet music. Because there is so much sheet music out there, when there's a song that you want to play, all you have to do is Google the song, find the sheet music, and start playing. And even though with most songs you will have to individually purchase the sheet music, the nice thing is that most places will give you the first page for free, so you can try the music out first, see if it's a good fit, and then decide if you want to purchase it. Now, learning how to read sheet music fluently does take a bit of time and practice in order to familiarize yourself with looking at the music and playing the correct keys. But it's totally doable, and you will find it so much easier if you use this special method that I teach my students. I talk all about it in this video, so if you're wanting a fast and simple way to read sheet music, make sure you check it out. The second way that you can play any song that you want on the piano is through playing easier and simpler versions of sheet music. So for example, you may want to play Moonlight Sonata on the piano. If you look up the original version of this song, you might feel pretty intimidated and like, this is going to take me a long time to try to play this. But if you look up an easier, simpler version of it, you'll be able to find lots of arrangements that are created with the beginner in mind. So they'll be much easier and simpler to learn and play. Now, P.S. if you are a beginner at the piano and you do want to play Moonlight Sonata, I've got a super simple, easy arrangement of it that I'm going to link down below. The third way that you can play any song that you want on the piano is through knowing how to simplify harder music as you're playing. So this is a bit different than in the second way, because in the second way you were specifically looking for easier and simpler sheet music arrangements, but this way you're actually going to still play more difficult music, but you're going to simplify it as you're playing it. So what you would do here is you would take the harder, more difficult music, and you're looking specifically for two things. You're looking for the melody, and then you're looking for at least one bass note to support it. Everything else is optional and can be left out. Yes, your song may sound a little bit more stripped down and simpler, but it will be so much easier for you to really feel the flow of the song instead of having to spend a bunch of time trying to figure out every single note for every single measure. Now, the nice thing about playing like this is, one, it opens up a ton of sheet music that you can play, and two, it gives you the opportunity to work through different levels. So let's say you take a song and you need to simplify it at first, but then after you've played through it and you feel more comfortable and confident playing through it, then you can go back to the music and really take it to the next level by adding in some of the notes that you left behind before. Now, make sure you comment below and let me know if you would like to see some more specific examples of how to simplify your music as you're playing it. This is just kind of an overview, but if you would like to see more examples, let me know and I can create more videos around that. Now, the fourth way that you can play any song that you want on the piano is through using alternative ways of playing. As much as I love using sheet music to learn songs, it's like the musical map that shows you exactly which keys to play and when. There are also some songs that will feel more difficult if you use the sheet music than if you were to use an alternative way to play it. So there are really two main alternative ways to play the piano. First way is through using piano chords. So in order to find the chords for a song, you would just Google the song name followed by piano chords. If you're brand new to the piano, I definitely recommend looking for the chords in the key of C, because that's one of the easiest keys to play in. So what you'd be looking for here is you just Google the song name, piano chords in the key of C. So once you find the chord chart, you just follow the chord that's written and you switch the chord whenever the lyrics change. Side note, using chords works really well when you're planning on playing a song and singing along with it, because the voice will carry the melody. The second alternative method is to figure out how to play a song just by ear. And this is just a fancy way of saying you listen to it and then you figure out how to play it on the piano. Now, this alternative method can sometimes be a bit more time consuming, but it is great if you want to train your ear to hear pitches and intervals. If you don't know what an interval, it's basically just the distance between notes. So like if you're hearing a note, that would be an interval. So being able to hear those pitches and then being able to pick it out on the piano. If your memory isn't that great and you do decide to play a song simply by ear, I recommend getting a pen and paper so that you can write down the notes that you're playing so that you don't forget. Now, personally, I love doing a combination of these two alternative methods. So if there's a pop song that I want to play, most of the time I will just look up the chords and then I will figure out the melody by ear. I'll be playing the melody that I figured out with my right hand and then my left hand will be following the chords from the chord chart. And the beauty of this is that you can do this as a beginner. This does not have to be a difficult or hard process. Of course, if you are more intermediate and you're comfortable already at the piano, you can take the chords and the melody and really expand on them to make your music sound more full and take it to the next level. This last thing that I'm going to tell you about playing any song that you want on the piano is really important. When you're first getting started at the piano, you want to make sure to play towards your strengths. If it feels easier and more comfortable for you to read and play chords, then start there and get comfortable learning songs in that way. If it feels more comfortable to listen to a song and pick out the notes, start there. Each of these areas can be developed later on, so you don't have to start by mastering all of them right from the start. When I first started at the piano, I started with getting really comfortable with only reading sheet music. And once I was really comfortable reading and playing sheet music, I started to branch off into chords and playing by ear. But because I had a really strong foundation in one area, in the area of reading sheet music, all the other areas became so much easier. Now I can use all these different ways to literally play any song that I want on the piano. And remember, if you want to learn my method for how to quickly and easily read sheet music, make sure you check out this next video and I'll see you over there.